Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into the question, what are the signs and synchronicities that you are receiving from your guides trying to tell you? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Aqua Aura Quartz. Group 2 is the Angel Aura Quartz. And group 3 is the Sunshine Aura Quartz. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. Chose the Aqua Aura Quartz. So let's see, what are the signs and synchronicities from your guides trying to tell you at this time? Okay, we have Inner Temple, Devotion, Tune into the portal of your heart. Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Openness. Miracles. Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. And Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. So it feels like for some of you or a lot of you, there may be wish fulfillment and alignment with a long-awaited dream or manifestation, something that you might have almost thought was a little bit further on the horizon that is arriving sooner than expected. This might also be something where you have been on a particular journey or path, have tried your best, given it your all, and nothing has worked out or nothing has turned up, almost like a manifestation you could have turned your back on or had just felt maybe it isn't for me, maybe it's just not happening. There's a sense of it's arriving in a different form than you had originally thought, or the sense of like your timeline in the past, maybe where you yourself were at in terms of a place of readiness, or if this involves like another person, because this double rainbow is giving me like 10 of Cups vibes. So maybe something that really is like your heart's desire, that can be true love, alignment with like a higher vibrational connection, somebody that like meets your emotional needs on a deep level. That this could be something where you almost might have just sort of given up hope that this was happening. And it ties into sort of an element of almost, because also with this kind of Archangel Raphael energy here with Medicine Guardian, there's almost a sense of these signs and synchronicities letting you know that it almost like wasn't the time for something to happen before, because what you were seeking, what you were desiring, what you were reaching towards or trying to sort of work towards even within yourself, it involved like a healed layer of manifestation. So a person that you might have been focused on in the past, or a particular time and space that you could have thought, this is how what I'm seeking will arrive, or this is what it will look like, this is the shape and form that it will take. It almost feels that that was not the highest level of what was possible. And so there's a sense here of almost trusting yourself to kind of open up emotionally to maybe something where there's like a blocked energy, like a blocked heart chakra, like you're reflexively kind of tucking away from yourself, or the arrival of kind of this wish fulfillment. Again, it could be love and romance, or just sort of a long held dream, that there might almost be an energy here of you've been let down so many times in the past, or it didn't arrive when expected. It might even be that it's not the person you had originally sort of thought or intended. And so there could almost be a defensiveness or a guardedness of like, I can't go through this whole process again with a new person, of like getting my hopes up only to be let down, or something within you that's kind of saying, anticipating like, this is not who I thought would be coming into my life. This is not the person. This is not the manner in which I thought that this would be coming forth to me. And so there's almost like a fear quotient that might be sort of, you're being pulled along towards something, or something is being pulled along towards you, and there's resistance, maybe even on both ends. Maybe you and whatever this wish fulfillment is, if it involves another person, same sort of scenario, like a mirrored kind of energy here, even with these two figures of sort of doubt that it could finally be time, questioning if you're sort of like ready for this manifestation to arrive, or even things sort of deeply held or embedded within the psyche that could be still clinging to like a previous idea or a previous picture that had been painted within the mind of kind of like who that would be, what it would look like, what the circumstances would entail, the place or time in your life, or in that other person's life, when things would sort of unfold. And so there's a sense here of, again, preparedness that needed to happen, encouragement for these signs and synchronicities to kind of go into an emotional space, maybe even sort of tune into what's happening with like lunar cycles, things cosmically going on, placements of the planets, or even sort of looking into your own kind of natal chart and working with those energies in conjunction with whatever's happening cosmically, as a way to sort of unclench yourself and to lean into a space of trust, that it's finally happening, that it's finally time, that this is almost like a manifestation that was prolonged, or what you might perceive as was delayed, because there was a certain level of like evolution, a leveling up that needed to take place, within you and like another person. The idea of taking personal ownership maybe over aspects within your life, emotional sort of issues, any kind of like codependent energies, or anything that there could have been other cycles at play that needed to be wrapped up, that it's almost like whatever this is wasn't deferred because you had like done something wrong, or it was kind of like the wrong energy that you were trying to call in, but it's almost the essence of there were other things that needed to be kind of cleared out of the way for optimal circumstances to be created within the life of you and this other person. Or if it's like a dream sort of situation, something like a heart's desire that can relate to, living your best life. It's a sense of that life that you are now directly in alignment with, that is moving towards you, you're moving towards it. Moving pieces behind the scenes needed to be sort of rearranged or shaped or developed in order to truly align with like the highest level of what's possible for you. If you had gotten to this destination sooner, it wouldn't have been as fulfilling. If it had happened in any other kind of way, there's almost a sense of it wouldn't have been as good as it's about to get. And so this is, again, kind of a sense of the signs and synchronicities are trying to encourage you not just to have patience and trust in divine timing, but it's almost the idea of your destination it's there, it's on the radar, it's in sight. You'll soon kind of be directly confronted with this opportunity to take a leap of faith, or something that like takes, or someone that takes a leap of faith to you, and it's a sense of like, it's here now. What it was that you were seeking has finally arrived. And so it's these signs and synchronicities, this encouragement to, open yourself back up, remain open, keep that hope alive. If you're still in some way linearly fixed to like a particular person, if it's romance, if it's someone that you've been like waiting on for a very long time, there can even be an energy here with sort of this full moon, to really release the expectations of who or what it is that's going to come through this portal, because it's very likely that it is not the person that has kept you on hold or kept you on the back burner for a very long time. And there may almost be kind of like a fear or a hesitation. Is it going to be that person all of a sudden that's come around and kind of recognize my value and worth? Maybe you've done a lot of healing work to sort of transcend that energy energy of putting your well-being on hold, waiting for sort of someone else to choose you. And so there may almost be kind of signs or synchronicities that are trying to reassure you that all is well, because this isn't the essence of, last picked for the team, or somebody that, has finally, after a long time, kind of run through their options in other capacities, and now you're the choice. This is almost something that really aligns, it feels like, with the level of wish fulfillment maybe that you had originally thought was possible with someone else, or you've been trying to call in for a very long time. Maybe the idea of that wish fulfillment has taken on many different shapes across the process of your journey, and there's the sense of like it's here, this miraculous energy, the thing you thought was never going to come in, or you just like resigned yourself to, if it happens, it happens, if it doesn't, it doesn't, and you've moved very much in a flow state. Now is that time to really to receive. This isn't like off on some sort of distant horizon. It's very near to you. It's very close to you. And so there is an element of almost trust. There may even be something where you, and like if it's another person, or again, kind of like a door of opportunity where you could step through and really kind of change your life fundamentally. That can even be stepping through the door of love, which changes your life fundamentally, or in other ways related to, abundance for you in a very broad spectrum. There may also be this essence of signs and synchronicities are encouraging you to kind of take note of the fact that your energies are actively entwining with like the energies of another person, another timeline, to where you're braiding yourself in to kind of this next layer or level of reality. And so there could be almost again like this reassurance that all is well. If you sense turbulence, if you have trepidation, if there's weird things coming up emotionally speaking, this is almost the essence of you've done a lot of shadow work. You've really completed or wrapped up a very profound process, and so of dissolving certain things, and now you are coagulating into like that next timeline. You are immersing yourself or merging with kind of the essence, or like a shared energy that will be exchanged, that will be kind of like the vibration, that will be the foundation upon which things are built in kind of this next cycle or phase of your life that involves fresh energies, something different, something evolved from what you've known before. So it's very positive. It's kind of like be fearless enough to keep your heart open and to really trust that it is finally time for this manifestation, in whatever way, shape that takes to kind of unfold for you. Most likely involving another person, kind of like the nature of the love that you've been seeking. But it again feels to be something that's beyond person that's kept you on hold for years or a very long time. This does not feel to be something where it's like all of a sudden they see the light and they're rushing towards you. It's like the idea of what you had thought you could experience with them, or what you were like yearning for emotionally. The person that's able to kind of give that to you, choose you right away, and kind of continue to choose you consistently, they're getting ready to materialize. They're getting ready to emerge in your very present reality, to be that wish fulfillment that maybe you had hoped, or you had been working on yourself in order to kind of encourage or to welcome in the form of another person. It's almost that option, that timeline has closed out, but what you were emotionally wanting to experience, or spiritually or vibrationally, or actually wanting to experience, it is in the form of another person, and they're like right on the brink of presenting themselves to you, or being presented to you, or aligning with you in some way. But again, this can also relate to like your heart's desire, in terms of a different kind of life, or something where you're not just kind of going through the motions and living day to day, but you're really in the energy, or have the opportunity to step into a place of you're thriving, you're blossoming, you've kind of like outgrown a container, whatever steps you've taken to sort of shed that, or to transcend beyond that, you're now in this space of energetically speaking, the conditions are right for like a blooming or a ripening. So let's get some message cards and get some words and thoughts and phrases from your guides, and then I will close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have protection. You are safe. Do not fear. We are always with you, surrounding you with our ethereal wings of light. Archangel Michael, the path is now clear. I have removed all obstacles so that you can move forward with ease and confidence. Your heart's desire is edging closer to reality. Adventure. Instead of seeing an obstacle, see an adventure. There are far more possibilities than you have imagined. Explore as many as you can. Step away from the black and white options and enjoy the colorful in-betweens. Imagine. Visualize the life you want clearly. Feel it in your heart and soul, and it will come to be. Vision. Positive outcomes require a positive vision. See everyone in your present situation, including yourself, surrounded by light and love. Your love has the power to influence, transform, and lift today into a brighter tomorrow. And mindfulness. Be mindful of another's wishes. Someone needs your care right now. A thoughtful deed, a gentle word, a simple show of love. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got Y, L, O, S, F, R, O, I, H, H, T, D, P, B, X, I, and V. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. Chose the Angel Aura Quartz. So let's see, what do your guides have to say about the signs and synchronicities that you have been seeing? What is the meaning behind these things? Okay, we have leadership, success, priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Star mother, how can you mother yourself? Medicine mother, honor your inner knowing. And seer, see beyond the current situation. So the signs and synchronicities that you may have been seeing strongly indicate that your intuition is on point about something, that you have been maybe getting a lot of the same repeating signs and synchronicities about, or like the answers already are within yourself. This is almost an indicator that you don't need to look outside of yourself for confirmation, but your inner voice, your connection with your higher self is very strong, is very clear. Some of you may be even currently embodying your higher self, like you've crossed a threshold or you've leveled up in such a way that you have a different vantage point over your life in general, people that you are dealing with, a sense of an encouragement not to second guess impulsive inclinations or anything that comes through like clairaudiently or flashes within your mind's eye, or just like a sense of inner knowing, that this isn't a time to sort of wonder if you are operating in a fear-based paradigm, because it feels like you've transcended that in a way that you have balanced kind of the yin-yang polarities, the masculine and feminine polarities within yourself so precisely, so beautifully, that you are now able to literally kind of read energies, read between the lines, anticipate or see miles down the road based on what you are currently experiencing or picking up, in terms of situations, people you are interacting with, or even some kind of like inner call, like your inner compass, nudging you to sort of concentrate on certain things, redirect your focus, or to continue to kind of move along a very particular path that may have to do with spirituality. It may have to do, with like inner child healing, with kind of this double reference to like mother energy. There may be a need to kind of reparent yourself in a certain way, or efforts that you've been making to do that. This is almost confirmations from your guides that you are doing an excellent job of that, to continue to do that, to continue to invest within yourself, kind of questioning patterns within, root causes of wounds within yourself, to continue to be very gentle with yourself and nurturing with yourself during that process, because it's yielding positive things, and already has yielded very positive things in terms of like literally a glow up from the inside out, radiating more personal strength, and a sense of almost like core integrity than had been the case in the past. This can also be an indicator that you may already kind of be in this stance already, or it's sort of the signs and synchronicities are encouraging you to kind of keep an open-mindedness about the fact that you're up-leveling or have up-leveled, in such a profound way that there may be a lot of people drawn towards you, drawn towards your healing light, drawn towards this kind of vibration that you're emanating. Some of those individuals will experience like a lot of healing, like you activate something within other people, activate the healer within other people, or sort of shine a light, on areas within themselves, maybe in kind of like subtle psychic ways, or like deeply embedded within their own psychology, that are almost doorways to kind of transcendence within themselves. There will be people that are receptive to that, and people that will be highly triggered and agitated by that. And it's a sense here of almost like hold your ground, don't shrink away from what your intuition is telling you, maybe, in terms of advice you're giving to people, or certain people that you just reflexively feel like, I don't want to deal with this individual. I don't want that energy kind of in my frequency, in my daily reality. This is not kind of the time to give people the benefit of the doubt, or to try and be almost like a bigger person, in the sense of, feeling that maybe you're the one who's overreacting, maybe you're the one that needs to kind of ground and center. There's almost a sense of your perceptions in the subtle realm are so heightened, that at this point in time, as you may be navigating through kind of like a liminal phase of your reality, kind of stepping into a different aspect or chapter of your own kind of timeline, it's very important to kind of navigate in accordance with things that feel good, that resonate. This is not the time to sort of like seek out the trigger, and learn transcendence through the element of suffering. There's almost the sense of like your intuition will tell you this is for me, this is not, and you're needing to kind of move in a very sort of rigid stance in that capacity, in kind of like this chapter or this phase of your life, or it's something, it feels like, where you're going to be offered the opportunity to learn to trust in that. It may come forth in almost like extreme reactions, it feels like dissonance versus harmony, from what you're picking up on in environments, feelings even within yourself, and kind of needing to sort of pinpoint where that is coming from. It feels to be something where there's like a level of psychic sensitivity, where your abilities as an empath maybe have leveled up. You've gotten an upgrade in that, and that this is almost kind of an acclimation period, that it won't be so extreme, kind of what you're always picking up, or it might even be just kind of shifting out of sort of a particular cloud of energy that you've been embroiled with, enmeshed with, that you've been dealing with. This can also encourage, sort of movement and a shifting in terms of, social circle, maybe things that you're focusing on and kind of taking in as far as like social media is concerned, the environment that you're living in, kind of your daily routine, your daily practice, maybe even certain things spiritually that you're ready to kind of like up level and move beyond in a way, that at this point in time, it feels like it's not the time to sort of sit and contemplate. It's very yes no kind of energy, almost like the fearsomeness of like a protective parent, that this is something to where this light or this energy or this vibration, or kind of wherever you're at on your particular journey in life in general, your spiritual journey, your healing journey, you've managed to alchemize something within yourself that is an accomplishment. It's a feat that you've done this. It has not been easy work. And it's something where there's almost kind of an instinct to self-protect. This is the signs and synchronicities are encouraging you to honor that. Not look at it as though you're being greedy about sort of your energy or your time, but this is kind of the confirmation to keep those boundaries reinforced. It almost feels to be something that's, and the phrase turbulence is coming through, so it's bringing to mind the idea of, as you have kind of shifted in your vibration, as you sort of shifted within your timeline, things are going to start to like phase out in your material reality, and the experience of that for you, even people that you've been connected with, or like karmic cycles you've closed out, as those things kind of shift or fall away from sort of your sphere of energy or what you will be dealing with, even chapters that you've closed out and sort of left behind, there's almost like a shaking off, it feels like, of kind of the last of the energetic cords, the tethers, sort of the flow between you and people, you and certain situations, where it's almost like those things are no longer relevant to kind of your future. You're no longer attached to them in the same way. You're moving into more of a place where you can see things that don't serve you, maybe from your past even, or like presently, that, or in the future that you'll encounter, from a place of neutrality, that it's almost like dissonance and sort of the toleration of that, or making concessions for that. It's not serving you at this particular point in time, because you're getting ready to kind of move into more of an element of, there's tranquility and peace that's more readily available for you, and you know how to reach that. You know how to get to that point. You kind of, you know when to shut the door on certain things, or certain things that you need to kind of hold some space for while there's, periods of kind of ups and downs. But it feels that this here is sort of a time where, you're being called to kind of take charge of that for yourself, in terms of stilling the mind or the intellect, or, anything that might have to do with kind of how teachings you've embraced, ideas you might have, maybe even things from your kind of upbringing that might have encouraged you to be sort of passive, or again, like be the bigger person, see things from others' perspective, even to the extent of like extending compassion towards those that have created dissonance, or that are source of dissonance for you at this point in time, as you've shifted timelines and you're adjusting, it feels like, to the nature of what you've cultivated within. This is the time to be extremely selfish, extremely self-protective. Anything that kind of disrupts your flow and disrupts your peace, now is not the time to entertain that. Now is not the time to try and sort of smooth that out, or to be like a fixer or a healer for those things. It's almost the energy of, if you can't bring something conducive to the vibration that I am harboring to the table, there's the exit, or you're not invited in the first place. So it's almost like a tough love kind of energy, but more so than like tough love you've had to exert towards yourself. This is almost extending that out. It's almost the energy of these signs and synchronicities encouraging you, or giving you the green light, that it is time, and you are authorized to sort of teach people a new way to treat you, or new people that you may encounter. This is the opportunity to sort of instruct them as far as like, this is what will be tolerated, this is what will not be tolerated. Or if it's people you're dealing with previously, this is almost like a re-education. What may have been allowed in the past, I am a different person. These are now different rules that apply. And being very maybe harsh at times about that, very firm, very direct in that capacity, and to kind of resist the urge to perhaps lean into sort of a wounded place within, especially if there's like, you know, psychic abilities and sensitivity. You may pick up on like the disappointment or, you know, kind of the dissonance of people that could have been used to laxed boundaries within you, were accustomed to the wounded version, or benefiting in some way, maybe malignantly or just kind of unconsciously from a lot that was allowed, a lot that was like overgiven energetically or in terms of like time and attention. So you may kind of feel an urge to sort of rush in and help, rush in and sort of smooth things, be a peacekeeper. And this is almost a sense of signs and synchronicities are telling you your personal peace is paramount at this particular point in time. Let other people adjust. Let them reconfigure themselves to kind of match this new frequency that you hold within, that is kind of the embodiment, it feels like, at this point forward, or to sort of phase themselves out of your life, or perhaps it is sort of your turn to kind of phase people out, where in the past you may have let a lot slide. So let's get some messages to see what else your guides want to add to this, and then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have faith. Stay true to your heart. The storm clouds will soon clear and the sun will shine once more. Heart and soul. When making your decision, listen to your heart and soul. Sometimes the mind can misguide. Choose through love. Archangel Michael. The path is now clear. I have removed all obstacles so that you can move forward with ease and confidence. Your heart's desire is edging closer to reality. Sacred knowledge. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the peace within. Go beyond your thoughts to the eternal truth, to the I am of everlasting love. Healing angel. At this very moment you are being bathed in gold, pink, and deep green light. Accept this healing. We, your angels, surround you with wings of love. You are eternally free, forever fresh, and always abundant. And marveling mindset. Optimistic thinking invites a healthy and abundant life. Constructive, supportive, and reassuring beliefs are the foundations for happiness. Make your inner voice your greatest companion. Marvel at all you are and are becoming. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got B, X, M, U, W, W, H, N, Y, P, C, T, V, C, N, R, and T. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. Like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. Chose the Sunshine Aura Quartz. So let's see, what are the signs and synchronicities that you have been receiving from your guides? What is the deeper meaning behind these things? Okay, we have inner peace, flow, air guardian, shift your perception, white witch, be the light, unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives, and Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So there's definitely a sense here of you having closed out certain cycles or being kind of moved by the hand of the divine or your spirit guides themselves, or almost like a future potential or timeline that might not have been guaranteed for this sort of range of what is possible in this lifetime, that is now crystallizing or coming into form due to certain choices that you have made up to this point in time to kind of almost raise your standard, raise your vibration, lean into the process of ascension and spiritual awakening, choosing the path of love and trust over kind of fear and resistance that has now unlocked the ability for greater options or almost a greater level of alignment with like a higher destiny or a higher timeline to become possible or attainable for you. So you might be experiencing almost a lot as far as, or these signs and synchronicities can kind of be a prelude to provide you some sort of comfort about what may start to unfold as far as like ascension symptoms. A lot of things kind of coming up from deep within the subconscious that don't necessarily need to be picked at too much or processed. Any sort of instinct or almost like a reflex that you might have to sort of look around and sort of seek out for the source of negativity or any kind of fear-based paradigms or beliefs that might sort of come up from within yourself about what you're experiencing somatically, energetically, emotionally, almost kind of like fearing or perhaps misperceiving what you're going through or what you will be going through as like a dark night of the soul, rather than sort of a stripping away or a tearing down or like a need to sort of rebuild or reimagine. It's almost like you've done that. You've accomplished that sufficiently, and it may be almost that you're getting ready to, or you're starting to build in a profound direction or in many aspects of what you've kind of worked to release, or are being sort of prepared to be able to work to release. This is a direction that you've maybe not touched upon for like many, many lifetimes. Maybe never. You've never had access to kind of this facet of your energy as like a larger stream of consciousness, kind of your the personal field of your vibration, of your energy signature as it moves through time on a quantum level, to where it's almost like a big sort of lifting energy will be taking place or is taking place, that is not a sign of things going wrong or things getting ready to fall apart. And kind of the challenge is to sort of still your mind, lean into kind of your core practices, whatever kind of brings you back to center, brings you back to a sense of safety and security. This can be a time to really increase those spiritual practices in a way that you have found have been very successful, even a reimagining or an expansion of certain spiritual practices in directions that you are nudged or guided to do, or even that just sort of come to you very spontaneously, very much in like an improv fashion from within yourself, because there's something where there's a layer of being to touch upon and experience a reality for yourself tangibly and materially that is now possible because of something that has been unearthed or created within you energetically and vibrationally. So certain skills, certain tools, certain things that you were like leaning upon, looking towards, or even the idea of what that sort of best life would look like in a variety of ways. It's almost like there are more options that are now available, or it's a bigger sort of vantage point of sort of what you're capable of, what that destiny may look like. You might even have something where your perception of kind of your dharma, your life purpose, kind of what you're here for on this plane, on this planet at this time. It's almost like you're getting ready to be shown something that is an extension of that. These signs and synchronicities might even, if it's sort of repetitive and pointed toward the same thing, this can either be a confirmation to move towards that, devote more of yourself towards that because it is in fact in alignment with like your life's purpose, or it's something where what you've been focusing on is kind of like your purpose, your mission, the thing that really just sort of lights you up from inside. There's a bigger use for that, or there's kind of like more meaning, a different sort of direction than you had thought was the case, something that you might have even just sort of dismissed as kind of trivial, maybe even kind of the process of working on yourself, going through a spiritual expansion, experiencing ascension, everything that has been involved with your own healing journey. There's almost something where that in and of itself could align with a purpose that you had not anticipated, that you had not thought of. It was just sort of you tending to yourself, you doing self-care, you learning to love yourself, or to heal, or sort of move beyond any kind of wounds or troubles that you've had in your past. There's almost kind of the essence of that ties into something greater. It's not just for you. You're kind of at this point now where it can be of benefit to other people. And so with that is almost kind of this profound essence of sort of shifting things within yourself, a balancing that's taking place in order to be able to let certain things go, or to create space where there's almost the opportunity for more to grow, more of your personal power in kind of an unfiltered capacity to rise to the surface and to be infused into whatever it is that you will be focusing on. For some of you, this may even represent kind of signs that have been trying to encourage you to take steps towards some sort of pivot in terms of your life, in terms of your career, even in terms of like an expansion of belief systems or a reimagining of certain belief systems. This can be signs and synchronicities that are confirming you that sort of intuitive nudge, that directional guidance is in alignment with sort of a higher level of destiny, a higher level of abundance, a greater level of personal truth that is sort of the up-leveling of you as a soul, opportunities you've not had, again, across like many lifetimes or perhaps ever. You may have closed out some major karmic cycles that go far beyond just situations and people that you've been dealing with in the here and now. This may almost be things that you've been toiling at for many, many lifetimes, since ancient lifetimes, or almost kind of like root wounds that have finally been cauterized, or you're finally in the proximity of being able to sort of deal with that once and for all. And with kind of the nature, the magnitude of that, it feels that it goes far beyond just sort of disciplining yourself to kind of change your pattern or change your habits. There's almost something that this affects kind of your timeline in a very broad sense, the emanation and kind of origin point of you's soul as that sort of travels and metamorphosizes across sort of the time-space continuum. That this is something where this is a major kind of quantum leap. It's the epoch that sort of concludes in the beginning of something else that affects many, many lifetimes to come. So again, that can be almost like releasing yourself from very profound karmic cycles, and in a way that whatever you've kind of done personally sort of affects the lives of the people that you touch, or whatever from this point forward, or after this kind of shift in sort of what you're focusing on, that is possible. Or finally, kind of if you've been sort of moving through your spiritual journey and sort of wondering, what's my purpose? What is all of this for? Why did I even go through this experience in the first place? That there's something here about you're being shown kind of some of the reasons for that. You're needing to kind of look at that from a different angle, or lean into a place of acceptance, and more will be kind of demonstrated to you. Or there's almost a sense of like all these different pieces finally starting to fit together, where it all makes sense, that this is not just kind of an arbitrary draw towards healing or spirituality. Your spiritual awakening wasn't simply to make you more aware and more conscientious, that there may be something more to it. it something by way of kind of like you're prepared to give back, or you're being prepared to give back to others, to be that way shower for others, to truly be that like embodiment of the light in whatever way that has kind of been cultivated within you very uniquely, and sort of taking that to the next level in a way that can educate, inform, and inspire other people as well. So let's get some message cards and see what else your guides want you to know, and then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have imagine, visualize the life you want clearly, feel it in your heart and soul, and it will come to be. Sacred space. We, your guardian angels, surround you with emerald, gold, and rose pink light. Surrender your concerns and worries. Enter the sacred space of love and healing. Adventure. Instead of seeing an obstacle, see an adventure. There are far more possibilities than you have imagined. Explore as many as you can. Step away from the black and white options and enjoy the colorful in-betweens. Change. The journey of life is richer for its changing path. No step is the same as the last. The road is forever fresh and sometimes surprises. Allow your life to unfold gracefully. Be grateful for what was, is, and will be. Trust. We, your angels, are here to nurture, protect, and heal you. We love you more than you will ever know. Trust in the healing power of our love. And wisdom. To be wise is to have great love, tolerance, and compassion for all beings, knowing everything has a place and a purpose. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got T, D, O, I, V, H, W, V, P, Y, Z, F, R, I, and Y. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.